What if the charger that came in the box with your electric vehicle is quietly setting you up to fail? Most new EV owners plug in that included level 1 cable, assume they are sorted, and never think twice about it until the morning they wake up to 40% battery and a full day ahead of them. The difference between level 1 and level 2 home charging is not just about speed. It is about whether your car actually keeps up with your life. Today, we are going to break down 5 key differences between level 1 and level 2 home charging so you can decide exactly which setup you need before you get caught out. And I promise you, number 3 on this list is going to catch most people completely off guard. Before we begin, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Now, let's get into it. Reason number 5, charging speed and what it actually means in the morning. Level 1 charging uses a standard 120-volt household outlet, the same socket your lamp plugs into. It delivers roughly 1.4 kilowatts of power, which translates to approximately 3 to 5 miles of range added per hour. If your full battery EV has a 75 kilowatt-hour pack, like a Tesla Model 3, a full charge from near empty on level 1 takes between 37 and 50 hours. That is not overnight. That is the better part of 2 full days. Level 2 charging runs on 240 volts, the same voltage as your electric dryer or oven. Depending on the amperage of the circuit, it delivers between 6 and 11 kilowatts, which means 20 to 40 miles of range added per hour. That same 75 kilowatt-hour Tesla Model 3 charges fully overnight on level 2 in 8 to 12 hours. A composite owner experience shared across EV forums captures this well. Driver parks with 40% battery after a long day, plugs in on level 1, and wakes up to 52%. Not enough to cover the day ahead. The car fell further and further behind every week. Before you assume level 1 will be fine, calculate your actual daily mileage. If you drive more than 30 to 40 miles per day in a full battery EV, level 1 simply cannot keep pace with overnight charging. Budget accordingly, or you will manage the problem every single morning. Reason number 4, the cold weather problem nobody warns you about. Here is something the dealership almost certainly did not mention. Cold weather does not just hurt your driving range, it also slows your charging speed. And when you combine those two effects, level 1 charging can completely fail to restore what you used the day before. Real-world testing from Recurrent, analyzing data from more than 30,000 vehicles, found that EVs typically lose between 20 and 40% of their driving range in freezing conditions. On top of that, running the cabin heater draws 3 to 5 kilowatts of power continuously from the battery power that in winter comes directly out of your available range. Meanwhile, cold temperatures slow the chemical activity inside the battery pack itself, meaning your charger cannot push electrons in as efficiently even when it is plugged in overnight. Level 1 adds 3 to 5 miles per hour under ideal conditions. In winter, with battery heating losses and reduced chemical efficiency eating into that number, some EV owners report gaining barely enough overnight charge to cover the heating penalty, leaving the car no better off than when they parked. Level 2 provides enough power margin to overcome cold weather charging losses and still restore meaningful range. If you live anywhere that sees regular sub-zero winters or sustained temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, level 1 is not a practical primary charger for a full battery EV. Before you assume level 1 is fine year-round, think through your worst winter morning. If your commute is 40 miles and temperatures regularly drop below freezing, level 2 is not optional. It is the setup that keeps your car usable when conditions get hard. Before we move on to the next reason, if you are finding this useful so far, it would mean a lot if you could hit the like button. It genuinely helps YouTube push this to more EV buyers who need to hear this before they make a decision. Reason number 3, the safety issue most people do not know exists. This is the one most people get completely wrong. Level 1 chargers are designed to plug directly into a properly rated household outlet, full stop. But a very common real-world behavior is running the included charging cable through a garage door, across a driveway, or down a hallway via an extension cord. And that is where a straightforward setup becomes a genuine fire risk. The United States Fire Administration, FEMA's Fire Safety Division, is explicit on this point. Level 1 EV chargers must be plugged directly into an outlet designed to handle the amperage of the charging device. Extension cords are not recommended. The reason is physics. EV charging draws continuous high current between 12 and 16 amps for hours at a time. Most domestic extension cords are designed for temporary, intermittent loads. Run a continuous 12-amp draw through an underrated cord overnight, and it will overheat. The connection point at the plug is especially vulnerable, and many household insurance policies will deny fire claims where an extension cord was used as a permanent charging solution. A licensed EV electrician noted in forum discussions that cheap extension cord female ends are particularly dangerous. Loose connections generate heat at the point of contact, and that heat builds silently while you sleep. If your outlet is not close enough to your parking spot to reach without an extension cord, you face a choice. Pay an electrician to install an outlet in the right location, or install a level 2 charger with a proper dedicated circuit. Either way, the cord across the garage approach is not a safe long-term solution. Do not use an extension cord as a permanent level 1 charging setup. If your outlet placement requires one, treat that as a signal to invest in a proper, dedicated installation before something goes wrong. Reason number 2. Installation cost and what the real number actually is. The most common objection to level 2 is cost. And it is a fair question, because the range quoted online is wide enough to confuse anyone. So here is what the numbers actually look like in 2025 and 2026. The Level 2 charger hardware itself ranges from $350 to $800 depending on brand, amperage, and whether you choose a smart unit with Wi-Fi scheduling. The electrician, labor, and dedicated circuit installation adds between $500 and $1,500 for a straightforward job, one where the electrical panel is close to the garage and has available capacity. Most homeowners land in a total installed range of $800 to $2,000 before incentives. Complex jobs requiring a panel upgrade or a long conduit run can push that to $3,000 or more. But here is what that number looks like after incentives. In the United States, the federal 30C tax credit covers 30% of installation costs, including hardware, labor, and permits up to $1,000 for installs in eligible census tracts. Many states and utilities stack additional rebates of $200 to $1,000 on top of that. It is worth checking your state energy office and your utility provider before you get a quote. Level 1 carries no installation cost if you already have a properly located outlet. But if your outlet is in the wrong spot, even a basic outlet relocation by an electrician costs $150 to $400, and you still end up with level 1 speed. Get at least 2 quotes from licensed electricians before committing. Ask specifically whether your panel has available capacity for a 40-amp circuit. If it does, the job is usually straightforward. If it does not, get the panel upgrade cost in writing before you sign anything. Reason number 1. Future-proofing the decision you will regret getting wrong. This is the biggest reason to think carefully right now, before you have already made your choice and moved on. EV adoption in your household is almost certainly not going to stay at one vehicle forever. And the charging math changes dramatically the moment you add a second car. Level 1 can barely keep a single full battery EV topped up when daily mileage is moderate. Add a second EV to the same household, and you now have 2 cars competing for overnight recovery on a charger that adds 3 to 5 miles per hour each. One of them will always be short. Level 2 at 32 amps adds 20 to 30 miles per hour, enough to fully recover most EVs overnight, and still have margin left if both vehicles plug in. Smart Level 2 units go further. Modern Wi-Fi connected chargers available from brands like ChargePoint, Wallbox, and Tesla allow time-of-use scheduling so the car charges during off-peak electricity hours when rates are lowest. They also provide real-time energy monitoring. Level 1 chargers rarely offer these features, and those that do are the exception. Consider the total picture. Multiple EV forum users have described the same regret. They started with Level 1, assumed they would upgrade later, and found that by the time the second car arrived, they were paying full installation costs anyway, but had already spent 2 years managing a charging deficit every single week. If you own a full battery EV, drive more than 30 miles per day, live somewhere with cold winters, or can see a second EV in your household in the next few years, install Level 2 now. The cost is real. The inconvenience of not doing it is bigger. The bottom line is this: Level 1 charging works for plug-in hybrids, very low mileage drivers, and backup situations. For anyone running a full battery electric vehicle as their primary car, Level 1 is a compromise that compounds over time in cold weather, with higher mileage and the moment a second EV joins the garage. Level 2 is the setup that actually keeps pace with daily life, charges safely on a proper dedicated circuit, and positions your home for whatever comes next in your driveway. This channel covers EV decisions with data, not hype, no sponsorships, no affiliate deals, just the information you need before you sign anything. Hope you like this video. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for more informative electric vehicle content. Thank you for watching.